Hey there, my name is Pravus. Welcome back to more settlement survival in Darby Hill, Monteshire. We are making progress. I say this every video, but we actually are seriously making progress every single video. I am making a heck of a lot more science now that I am making use of books and burning them in the Research Academy. We've discovered that we can, in fact, make orders via the ferry to get access to new seeds and animals, which I should have known a long time ago, but I am an idiot. And we have started producing our own silver coins via these mines. So, we're going to be making as much money as we can, and this is our chance to really start getting some much-needed resources. The first thing I really want to buy are going to be cattle or cows, anything along those lines. I'll do some research in a little bit, kind of between shots, in the help menu to figure out where we get leather, which animal produces it. But the point is, I want to order some of those, because that's probably one of the only base goods that I do not have a consistent access to. Leather is simply too unreliable. It relies on these dang hunting cabins and random animals marching around. You never know what you're going to get. If I could go to this hunting cabin and actually specify something like, if there are alpaca on the map, prioritize those, or deer on the map, prioritize those instead of some freaking turkeys, because who needs turkey at this point? That would be pretty helpful. But right now, at least at this stage of the game, that does not exist. So we have to farm it the good old-fashioned way. I'm going to go ahead and unlock some fertile fields because I'm seeing another bottleneck starting to approach upon us, and I don't want to get caught out by it. So the reason I want this is so we can boost up the yield of any of our farms. The reason I want farms is because we have not consistently had enough flax to last us throughout an entire year. Therefore, we want it out of linen. Therefore, I can't produce all of my down jackets. Therefore, we've been running low on clothes. And this is going to become a serious issue, especially with having almost 300 population. If we can't keep everyone warm, I actually do envision we're going to have problems. So we have a couple of flax fields down, but during this winter, now would be a good time to go ahead and get rid of these in favor of some fertile fields, so we'll be able to get a little bit more production out of these. So let's go ahead and prioritize that. I'll also go ahead and boost up a couple of these different farms here. Might as well, because, they're already set up for as much yield as possible, right? So let's go ahead and set you like this, and set another one up over here like this, and then another one going over here like this, and boom. Okay, so these are going to be the fertile fields. Now, we might actually find ourselves needing a bit more fertilizer as time goes on. So far, we've only got about 500. The one problem with this, of course, is it does take up a fair bit of water in order to make compost. I'm thinking we might want to set up a second one, though, because we got plenty of animal dung. 12,000 dung. I have literal mountains of poop. Mountains, I tell you. So, yeah, we might want some more of this. But the important thing is more flax that will last throughout the year so that these weaving workshops are working all day, every day, and therefore we'll be able to start producing enough clothes before we have an actual crisis. Although it does occur to me that apparently setting down these fields right now might be a slight mistake of judgment, only because we can see there's actually a notification right here. There's an extreme cold snap on the way, and a lot of wild plants and animals will freeze to death. Now, it says wild plants. Does that mean the gathering huts are useless, or does this mean that all my crops are going to die? I would assume the crops are going to die, but what about also, like, my domestic animals? Are they all going to die? Dunno. We're gonna find out the good old-fashioned way. Well, if there is a cold snap, I don't see any evidence of it hurting me in any way. It's coming past, right? It's kind of entered the map, and then now there's nothing happens. The animals all seem fine. I still see plenty of stuff growing. I'm really not convinced that all these natural disasters are working as intended. Every once in a while we've seen one, probably not enough to be really that challenging, but every once in a while we have seen one, and then you have moments like that where it actually notifies you something's gonna happen, and then nothing. Absolutely nothing. I'm just a little confused by that. Let's go ahead and unlock the salt making. This is something we know that we needed in order to turn regular leather into fine leather, which is something we wanted for some furniture, at least at some point. I have a new round of immigrants, thank God, because I, kind of ran out of population. Again, these guys are just necessary for just dealing with my natural death rate. Really, the children alone are just not enough. 217 adults and only 100 kids? Okay, admittedly, that seems like a pretty decent ratio, but it's not enough, dang it. I know for a fact that it's not enough. All right, salt workshop. We can extract all the salt. Just play a bit of League of Legends, grief some people a bit, and then boom, salt for days. So what does it take to produce salt? Absolutely nothing. It looks like it's just the same as any of these sand pits or reservoirs or fishing things. You literally just go to the river and just start extracting salt. This kind of begs a few questions to me, though. Is this a saltwater river? And if so, geez, what kind of fish are we getting out of this river? How is this working? I don't know. Feels like salt really shouldn't be extractable here. It actually would almost be fun if salt were like a really cheap but very valuable luxury good that comes only from the merchants. From faraway lands, the salt extraction. Either that, or maybe half the map is like ocean shore or something and you extract it from there. I don't know. But regardless, now we're extracting salt. Excellent. And that means I should be able to go to my new, where is it? Not the butcher. Leather making workshop. There you are. And we'll be able to use the salt and the leather to make fine leather. If only I had a consistent source of leather. I'm going to unlock the carving workshop because I would like to go ahead and start making something else that we can sell as a tradable good. Up to this point, I mean, we're not making a ton of money selling cutlery. We're getting a little bit per year here. And a little bit from just selling some of my huge excesses of alpaca wool, though we are starting to burn into that a little bit. And we have made at least a good couple thousand or so silver. I mean, we're almost to 4,000 this year so far, just from the mint. So we're making some money, but I need a lot more. So I figure, sure, let's go ahead and get ourselves that carving workshop and see what's going to happen. Now, I do think, by the way, that the UI could be improved here for this services building, or at least break things down a little bit more. I know I could click on these different categories, but like, there's just a little bit too much all under the same category, if you know what I mean. Where do I want to do some carving? How about right over here? This seems like a great place to do some carving. Certainly. Wait, when did I get 5 technology points? Whoa, 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 whoa! Like, for real, though, when did I get 5 technology points? I thought I'd been spending these pretty much as far as they go. Apparently not. All right, tents and housing upgrades. Finally, we'll go ahead and get some of those going. Love to get something like a tea workshop. But until we get coffee, cocoa, and tea, that's not really going to be an option. Let's go for the boarding school. We could even get ourselves an academy. Development is rapid and you gain 3 tech points. Oh, maybe that's it. Maybe I picked something up somewhere that got me some extra tech points I didn't even notice. Doinkus. Well, there we go. That's practically a free pick. All right, yay, we'll do that. Let's get an upgrade for the dock so we can have more trading power if we want it. I don't think it's a bad idea. Well, maybe not yet. Toolkits, we don't have those yet. Until we get the gold miners, that's not going to do much good. I do want to get the landfill just because some mountains are getting in my way, and I'd like to go ahead and clear some of that out. Not been having any issues with stone yet, so I still don't think going for an upgrade of the quarry is necessary. Could go for the furniture, but again, without the fine leather, is this a priority? Probably not. We need more consistent leather still. I could go for something like a corral, which raises animals even faster and increases their yield. That could be all right. Sure, we'll unlock that. And then maybe we should unlock something like silk? Yeah, let's learn about the powers of silk and see if we can start creating some sort of luxury clothing, and that could also form a good trade good. So how do these new luxury houses compare? Well, they sure as heck look nicer. Check out that architecture. Actually looks kind of like something I might build in Minecraft, to be honest. I kind of always liked this style. But yeah, so the reason you get luxury houses, even if it is for the elderly who can't make children, is it does relieve even more stress, so minus 15% instead of 5. That would be good if I had any stress, but I don't, so that's not an issue. Also, the fuel lasts longer, which is pretty nice. Now, I will say, it's a oh yeah, and also it has a much higher inventory, and it can house 1 extra person, but that's beside the point, because ideally people are moving out and having babies. So, the only problem with these is it's a fairly expensive upgrade once you take into account that we got bricks, glass, and these building kits, which require, like, what was it, steel, either bricks or glass, and something else. Like, it's really expensive to get a luxury house. So this fuel had better last a heck of a lot longer for this to be worthwhile. I like, by the way, how if you place down your little scarecrow upgrade, it actually does show a little graphic of a scarecrow. Why the crows be scared of that? I ain't got no idea. Also, crows are devilishly smart. I've never understood why scarecrows would work. They're smart enough to look at the dang thing and be like, yeah, that ain't going nowhere. You want to scare away crows, or ravens, or anything along those lines, what you do is you get a dead one and place it somewhere. They actually stick away from places that have dead kin around it. They think that means it must be dangerous. And they're not wrong. It clearly is. All right, wooden statues, iron statues, gold statues, or jade. Well, we can't get jade or gold yet. Iron would be a little bit on the expensive side, but I got a few excess workers. And this iron mine doesn't have a whole lot to do, so sure, what if we just toss, like, let's say 3 more people in here? Because I bet you we use about that much extra production. Though we are starting to run low on inventory. I'm going to have to upgrade this again fairly soon, but nonetheless. Yeah, let's make ourselves some iron statues instead of wooden ones, even though I have a ridiculous excess of wood. And if we can produce a reasonable amount of these, I am curious how much money this will be worth. I'm going to go ahead and spend a point here, by the way, with Business Tycoon. Reduces the cooldown for any orders. Not that I have used any at this point, but we're hoping to at some point in the near future, and not having as long of a cooldown would probably be kind of nice for me. To answer my earlier question, iron statues are worth 100 silver each? Whoa. That seems pretty good. Now, how much does it take again? It takes 10 iron ore in order to do that. How much was the iron ore itself worth? Let's just put 1 here for now and just do a quick price comparison. 5. So we're spending 50 silver worth of materials to get 100. Okay. No, I mean, how did I clear out the spirits here? I have no idea. That's pretty decent as far as like a return on value. All right. Another administrator. Okay. Let's see. Citizens minimum happiness plus 20. I mean, I feel like we've already got, you know, a pretty good minimum as far as the church. So there's that. Plus, with everything else going, I mean, it's not like we have very unhappy people. So this would do absolutely nothing for me. So I guess between all of that, we could choose the fruit yield. Though, truth be told, that doesn't feel super consequential because I'm not really using much in the way of fruit. I've got a handful of pecans here and there, and that's kind of it. Pecans, as some people prefer to call them. Though I think that sounds a little bit silly, personally. But no offense intended. Anyway, yeah, okay, that's a little bit lackluster, but whatever, it's fine. Just spent a point getting wearable, which gets me extra durability on all clothes, plus 50%, which I consider to be a fairly huge deal. What else could I want? I mean, again, cotton does me no good right now until we buy out the seeds. More storage. I am having storage issues, I'm not gonna lie, though I'm not really making much use out of open warehouses. That would be an option for me. I'm kind of getting tech points faster than I really know what to do with at this point. I've really been having no issues on this front. I guess I can't dig a river. That's interesting, though. This would be a technology to get at some point. Interesting. I guess we could go ahead and start working toward getting some of the quarry access. I mean, at some point, our quarry is going to run out. It's got a long ways to go, but we'll go ahead and get some upgrades unlocked. I don't know. I'm actually too big of a brain all of a sudden. I'm not really sure what to do with all this extra knowledge that I've got stacked up. We are trying to build up a jewelry workshop. Now, for this to work, I'm going to need some toolkits, which I cannot produce because I need the mining upgrade gear. Oh, gosh, dang it. I thought we already had this tech unlocked. Apparently not. Hang on. Mining upgrade. This. See, I looked at this, and I thought, I don't really know if this is what I need because it says it's for gears. But no, this includes the toolkits. Dang it. All right, should have saved that point. The good news is it will take me very little time to get myself another point. I think we can upgrade our advanced tailor shop, by the way. Yeah, we can. A clothing factory. All right. I mean, while we have an excess of clothes and our durability just increased, sure, let's go ahead and get this sucker upgraded. It's supposed to give me, I think, a little bit more efficiency, but perhaps most importantly, some additional types of clothing, greater variety. There we go. It doesn't actually say that it gives you more efficiency, so maybe all it does is just give me new types of clothing to produce. Still, I'm curious, and I want to know what we're going to get. Mine reserves have run out. All right, time to go and upgrade for a senior mine. This one is reaching the golden age in life. Okay, let's get that upgrade for gears, and now I will get over here and start producing some toolkits using my excess of leather again. Gosh dang leather, why? It's such a crucial staple good, and it's so surprisingly difficult to come by. By the way, this is the first time I'm actually going to reject a round of immigrants. We've surprisingly now started to hit the point where our population is naturally growing fairly well on its own. So maybe we've hit critical mass. And if that's the case, great. Now, not that I'm really opposed to having more immigrants and stuff. It's perfectly fine. It's just I don't really have the housing space for it. And I don't really feel like going to the trouble of building out a whole new neighborhood right now, when I've already got more workers than I know what to do with. We'll come back to bringing them in, I have no doubts. And actually, we have plenty of room in the boarding house, it turns out. But regardless, we'll come back to that. Okay, jewelry workshop is done. We'll go ahead and take the silver ore and start turning that directly into jewelry, because right now we're producing more silver ore than our mint is able to take care of. And I can only imagine that jewelry is going to be worth a fair bit. We're also about to finish building up this clothing factory since I found out that I had a bit of a lack of bricks. Now that this is done, looks like we can actually employ more tailors, which is good because I'm starting to run lower on clothes. Textiles, we have that. Gowns, I think this is the new stuff that we didn't have access to before. Would require fine leather in addition to silk. Although we could apparently use some alpaca wool here and there instead of wool. And then custom gowns with jewelry. Goodness, how very ornate and completely unnecessary. Yeah, I mean, I don't know why my people would possibly want to have such extremely gaudy clothes. Wouldn't it be better to have some simple down jackets and not get a little ahead of ourselves? That's just my personal opinion. I still want to know how you get pumpkin heads, by the way. That sounds like something that would be kind of fun to have. Okay, so apparently jewelry is worth about 100 silver coins each. And given that silver ore, I think, is worth, 30 each? And it takes 2 to make, so that takes 60 silver worth of materials and turns it into 100 silver worth of coins with the jewelry. So there is some processing power there, but as far as like just raw value, so far the iron statues are kind of one of the better ones. Now I would imagine, right, moving on to something like gold is probably going to be even better once I can get some golden sand, but until we get there, that's fine. Unfortunately, the ship came by, and I kind of forgot about it, and I didn't place the order, so now I gotta wait for the next ship. But look how much gold we got. Well, silver, sorry. Look how many silver coins we got. We're getting really close to being able to order everything I need to finally solve the dang leather crisis. I did unlock a new road type, by the way. We do have brick ground, which is better than laid stone ground because it increases our movement speed by 100%. I also should probably upgrade some of these dang bridges. Wider bridges? How much wider? Oh, wow, much wider. Jeez! Big honkin' bridges. I mean, it's kind of cool. Yeah, it wouldn't be a bad idea to build some of these things out. Does take a fair bit of stone and such, too, but that's kind of fine. What if I did something like this? It doesn't quite work. Well, we'll figure that out later, but yeah, we should probably be increasing move speed even further. Of course, that means I need a lot more bricks, and we've been having trouble keeping up on our clay and stuff, so I had to set up a second sand pit and give it some stone tools on both of these so that they'll produce even faster. But there we go. Over here, we have another sand pit, and I'm going to start getting, actual sand. Let's go ahead and increase the capacity of that to, let's say, 300. And if I can produce enough toolkits, I'm going to go ahead and start making these gold miner cabins. Now, I assumed these had to be placed along the shore, and people would start, panning the sand there. No, not so much. They actually have to have sand brought to them, which they then will process. Fire! Fire! Where is fire? It's over here! Fire! Someone deal with, please. I assume you guys are putting this out. There we go. And now it's been horribly, horribly damaged. But you know what? That's fine. Oh, gosh, and everyone moves right back in. This is why we have repair people, right? Speaking of repair people, repair shop person, where are you going? Are you going to go over here and work on this house? Yeah, you are. There we go. Anyway, so we have to bring the sand to us in order to start panning it for gold. You're telling me that this whole time we've been gathering sand, at any point it could have just been random freaking gold and I would never have known? That feels sort of wrong. Okay, there we go. We have our gold miner cabin. He's doing his thing. He's taking sand and literally nothing else and just every once in a while creating a single piece of gold sand. Now, if this works the same as, let's see, let's go to the jeweler real quick. Yeah, 1 gold sand makes 2 jewelry. Oh, goodness. Okay, so we need to set up another jeweler over here then, is what I am hearing, which should be easy for me to do. If I can find dang things, sometimes it's a little bit tricky. There you are. So yeah, we'll place down a jewelry workshop over in this general vicinity. And now we'll be able to start making more jewelry even more efficiently than before. Because it doesn't seem like it's that hard to get gold sand. And if it's a 1-to-2 jewelry ratio, let's see, that makes... Let's see, okay, hang on. So 1 gold sand is worth 100 silver, 2 jewelry is worth 200 silver in total. So it seems like for the most part, when you're doing production, it basically doubles your silver value. Like, just consistently, that seems to be basically what you're doing, is roughly doubling it. Which is, I guess helpful and easy to remember. On the other hand, it makes it hard to find, like, the perfect production chain where you get, like, ridiculous amounts of value. You know what would be kind of cool? Fluctuating prices. That could be kind of cool. All right, we have a merchant ship. Now, unfortunately, after looking through the help menu, it doesn't actually tell you necessarily what animals are going to produce unless you already own them. So I'm going to assume that we just want to get some cattle, and I'm thinking at least 2, maybe even 3 would be worthwhile. We could even order 4, which might be a little excessive given how expensive they are. You know, the other thing I could do is start getting some sheep. We could get 2 sheep and 2 cattle. And it's not like I can pick their gender or anything to make sure that they're going to reproduce, but I'm pretty sure as long as you have 2, it happens on its own. So as long as these animals don't die or get slaughtered, we could start producing both leather and wool, and as we build up the herd, that will save me a ridiculous amount of silver. I think we go ahead and order both. I think we're going to need that. Let's also try buying, if we can, say 50 of these silkworm cocoons. Not because I necessarily need them right now, but once I eventually discover how to get mulberry leaves, which may be a while, I suspect we're going to need a few of these just to start farming out some silk at some point. So for now, we can do that. I'm also selling off some of my excess jewelry, which should be making me plenty more silver. And we're expanding out the neighborhood because, well, I have a lot of people who are looking for new homes and are tired of living with their parents, and I can't really say that I blame them. Can you? Of course you can't. You're understanding, folks. All right, well, I think we're going to end this video here because it's been a little bit long for me, but with the animals ordered, with the corrals built up, and more that we could certainly build at any given moment, and pretty much every other resource looking kind of good across the board, I think we are going to be ending things here to move on to the next video. Again, I'm not going to end the series right now because I feel like we're actually starting to get somewhere finally. So soon-ish, I will end this series, probably sometime next week. Thank you all very much for watching. I do hope that you enjoyed this video. If so, I would ask you to hit that like button, leave a comment, and subscribe, and I will see you guys next time.